Thanks for logging on to myfoxhurricane.com. 10 days left in the hurricane season. Remember, hurricane season goes until November 30th, but in this little bit of time, we still have some areas that we are going to continue to watch. One is down across the central Caribbean. This is just an area of low pressure. You do see a little flare up of convection there, but this is really going to have a hard time developing over the next several days. There is some stronger wind shear just to the north of this system, but really what this is dealing with is dry air. Remember, these systems, they like low wind shear. They also like plenty of moisture. That dry air tends to inhibit these systems from developing. You can actually kind of see how you get that flare, but it almost looks like it's kind of drying out. But as we go through the next few days, we'll see if it can deal with some of this. And as it continues to work its way towards the west, it is at least working its way through an area that has some lower wind shear. So it's got that small chance, about a 10% chance of development as we go through the next several days to about the next week. Another area that we're watching, this is actually not here right now, but we have this frontal boundary that's working its way right through the middle of the Atlantic. And we know this time of the year, especially this time of the year, beginning part of the season and towards the end, you get these fronts, they work their way across the Atlantic or down into the Caribbean, then they kind of hang out for several days and eventually get these areas of low pressure that develop along these old frontal boundaries. And sometimes you start to see them trying at least to acquire either subtropical or tropical characteristics. So that's the idea behind what we're looking at here. So over the next 5 to 7 days, looking at up to about a 30% chance that we could see some development with this. So watch this as we go through the next few days. You notice down across the Caribbean, no real signs of anything developing, but as you look right through the middle of the Atlantic, that one does look like it may start to develop. Big question is, does it acquire any of those tropical characteristics, or is this just a non-tropical low? Remember, we saw that non-tropical low, which almost had that appearance on radar of one last week. It was down along the Florida coastline, down towards the Keys, kind of worked its way up towards Miami. And even though it was a non-tropical low, we saw winds gusting up to about 70 miles an hour with that system. So it does not have to be tropical to have those strong gusty winds, but this being in the middle of the Atlantic, regardless of what happens with it, would not be an issue whatsoever. We'd just be adding on to all the statistics of the season. But we'll continue to watch it, and we'll keep you updated right here on myfoxhurricane.com.